Hey guys, and welcome to our review on the QiYi Mini WuQue M. This cube is 60 millimeters on an edge, which makes it 2 millimeters smaller than the standard 4x4, which helps with people who have smaller hands. So I like this size way more. This cube also weighs 135.4 grams, making it not too heavy, but the magnets definitely add quite a bit of weight to it. Finally, it is $31.99 on the cubicle.us, which might seem like a lot for a 4x4, but if you're thinking about a magnetic 4x4, that's actually pretty cheap, and you're definitely getting a good product out of it. So now, on to the review. On to the feeling of this cube. This cube has a crisp and slightly locky feel, because it doesn't have the best corner cutting, but the corner cutting is sufficient for the cube it is. The inner layer magnets are strong, which makes for good M slices, but the outer layers are, personally I think they're too weak, because you can feel them if you're turning slowly, but I don't feel like they do very much. But if you like lighter magnets, that may be different for you. I went to corner cutting. So forward, you have a little under 45. And for reverse, you just have a tiny bit. Not that much reverse. See? Kind of, there you go. And for the inners, you have about 3/4 of QB of forward. Oh, never had that happen before. And a little bit of reverse. So corner cutting isn't too bad, but it's definitely worse than like the GTS2, 4x4, or the full-size WuQue. Alright, so now I'm going to do the parity algs, because I think it was J-Prim said, you can tell a lot by how a 4x4 performs, by how it does on the parity algorithms, because they're a good mix of inners and outer layer turns. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and do a little parity first. I'm not the best in the parity algs, but here goes. So, a little bit of catching over. Oh, I got a corner twist. So that can tell you a lot. But I've actually never had a corner twist in the solve. That was kind of odd. So yeah, I guess that can happen. And now for PLL parity. So, I'm kind of really bad at that one. But yeah, so hopefully you can tell a little bit about how this 4x4 performs based on this parity algs. That was helpful in J-Perm, so I thought I would do it. Alright, so now we're going to take a look at the mechanism. Okay, so on to the mechanism. As you can see, the magnets hold them together pretty well. This another one. And yeah, so we're going to start with the corner piece. It's a very, it's just rounded edges, but it's a very square corner piece. Pretty long stock, and then this double ring or double triangle thing that helps with corner twists supposedly, and also helps it with stability, I think. For the edges, you can see there's a little groove right there, and then a torpedo there, and this thing. So it's pretty standard too. It fits into that like that. Little bit of space right there, if you can see that. But yeah, so it's a pretty smooth contact surface, just with the bump of the magnet. And then internal pieces. So, that's kind of interesting. I didn't notice that. So there's like a little divot in it, which fits into this piece, sort of, and there's a little bit of space there too. So I never noticed that, but that is a pretty cool idea, and I wonder if it affects it that much. Okay, now for the corner piece. So it's kind of basically your standard corner piece. It's got a little bit of a thing right here that you can pull off to adjust the tension. And it's circled, this quarter circle right here so you can get to the screw. But yeah, so it goes with this thing like that. So that's a pretty good fit. Another one of those little things, it's those grooves. So that's kind of, I don't know what that really does, but it looks like it might have an impact on the turning. So here is how they all fit together. As you can see, one little 2x2 section of it is basically a 2x2 piece. With the inner pieces, that's basically how it turns. So yeah, it fits together pretty well. And yeah, so let's get this all reassembled. So now that I have this back together, I'm going to do a solve. I average like 110, so I'm going to speed it up by 2 times speed just because it might bore you if I do a complete solve. So yeah, let's get into that. So to set this cube up, all I really did was loosen it by about 1/4 of a rotation. That's pretty much it. I didn't even lube it because the factory lube was pretty good and I didn't really think it needed it. But I probably will lube it pretty soon because it's getting kind of dry. Anyway, this cube has improved my times by about a little over 10 seconds. I used to average about 120, 125. Now I average like 110, 105, so even more than that maybe. Probably about 15 seconds. Okay, so overall, I would recommend this cube to pretty much any solver. So if you just got a budget for like say the QiYi one, and you like the event, but you kind of just like this cube isn't that great, then definitely go for the mini WuQue because it's a great cube. It's not that much more expensive than the non-magnetic version. At like $20, this is at $32, and yeah, it's just a great cube. And yeah, if you're an extremely advanced solver, then you probably aren't watching this, and if you are, then you're probably not really caring about my recommendations averaging about a minute. But if you were to watch this as an extremely advanced solver, maybe get to full-size WuQue or the Angstrom one or the GTS2, but other than that, pretty much everyone else, I would definitely recommend this cube. Yeah, so thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Bye.